Robin DiAngelo, the author of popular anti-racist book White Fragility, appears to have proven her own point about white privilege. In this particular case, her own white privilege, where, as the Washington Free Beacon discovered, she had done a speaking gig at the University of Wisconsin and got paid 70% more than the other keynote speaker at the event, a black female author called Austin Channing Brown. This would definitely seem to prove Robin's point that, in fact, white people do just get paid more because of the colour of their skin. Because what other reason could there possibly be that Robin DiAngelo got paid more than this other woman that, frankly, I'd never even heard of? Robin DiAngelo herself, of course, is a multi-millionaire author of the book White Fragility, in which she argues that all of Western civilization is racist because it was made by white people, and this is effectively an expression of the white racial consciousness that naturally excludes, marginalizes, or oppresses non-white people. I just want to say that this is not a worldview I subscribe to, but since it is Robin DiAngelo's worldview, it might be worth us going through some things. So she was paid $12,750 for one speaking gig, in which she gives a pretty stock talk. The talk she gave was called Seeing the Racial Water. It's one of her standard keynotes. And what it is an attempt to raise racial consciousness among white people, make them understand that white people are different to other people, and that this is, frankly, in and of itself racist. Just describing what she believes makes me feel like a racist. I really don't like it. But the point is, the other lady was just paid $7,500, and the irony is not lost on anyone. As the Washington Free Beacon says, she's called such inequitable treatment the racist heart of capitalism, claiming that capitalism is dependent on inequality. If the model is profit over everything else, you're going to look at your policies to see which is the most racially equitable, and whiteness has psychological advantages that translate into material returns. Well, I guess they do, don't they, Robin? Because if all of the things that we do are done and configured and sort of prejudged based on these sort of racial characteristics, then there is no other explanation for why Robin DiAngelo is being paid more by the University of Wisconsin than Miss Austin Channing Brown. It would seem that we have a classic case of racism on our hands here. Or it could be that Robin DiAngelo is actually a best-selling author who had a runaway hit in White Fragility. It sold millions and millions of copies and made her wealthy. So it could be that the university is actually paying on merit, believe it or not. I feel kind of dirty using the word merit and Robin DiAngelo in the same sentence, but this is for the job that she's being paid to do, which is tell white people that they're bad. She's pretty good at it, and she's getting paid very well for it, much better than another author who happens to be black. But this essentially either the problem that Robin DiAngelo has is that walking away with this makes her totally complicit in this system of white supremacy, and she says this in White Fragility. We're all complicit in it, and we should raise our racial consciousness, be aware of the racial waters, and feel guilty about it. I mean, we should feel guilty about this kind of racism. She's explicit about this. But you would think that Robin DiAngelo, being the avowed anti-racist that she is, and being the compassionate, considerate, progressive activist that she is, would do something to equal the playing field here, would go out of her way to speak out against the obvious injustice that's being done to Miss Channing Brown. You would think that she would do something rather than just reaping the rewards of being white. Again, according to her own philosophy. Not that I don't believe this. I think that she is being paid more because she's very successful and the other lady isn't, for whatever reason. But it seems that Robin DiAngelo is, well, I mean, unless she secretly believes what I've just said, she is just complicit in racism, and she's happy to be a racist, at least by her own standards.